Asalaamu calaykum guys, kusoo dhawaada qaybtii afraad. Last time waxaan ka hadlaynay column ayaan ka hadlaynay. Marka columnku waxa weeye haddii aad xasuusatid childka ama widgetka ayaan maaragtay iska kala hooseynaynaa. So every widget or if a child is below on each other. So maanta waxaan ka hadlaynaa row. Laakiin before we talk about row, we need to do some cleanup. So waxaan sameynaynaa, we'll create a directory. We call it widgets. Once we make a widget, we create a file, Dart file. Then waxaa dhahaynaa asherka column, right? We'll create a stateless widget. So stateless widget, give it a name. So I will give it asherka column. You can give it to any name you want. It's up to you. You need to import a package, so get the material package. We copy this code. We put it on here. Instead of returning container, we return a column. We go back here and we put asherka column. Okay. And let's remove this from here. Same thing we did last time. Let's add padding from here. So let's add padding. So kan waa waxaan sameynay last time casharkii saddexaad. We just doing cleanup. Marka this lecture casharkan waxaan ka hadlaynaa row. So child, remember container takes a child. Then we have a row. Row takes a children, right? Now let's give it a first child. Let's say child 1, right? And then let's give it another text, which is child 2, right? Let's save that. We have 2 children. Remember, we can row has a main alignment, right? Main alignment, if you remember, is horizontal. So if you put center, we put center horizontally. If we make, let's see, we can make space between. So put one child here and another child there, right? We can also do space evenly, right? Space evenly, which you have equal size space. So you have equal space here, equal space here, equal space there. And finally, you could do space around, right? To have also space. Also, we talk about main axis size. So by default, it is maximum. So if we go over here, main axis is max, right? So, but we could change it to main axis size dot min. We could change it to min. So now this row is as big as it is children. So if we add more children, then it gets bigger. So if we add more children, it gets bigger, right? So we also talked about cross alignment, right? The cross alignment. So if we go cross alignment, remember cross alignment is a vertical, right? So we could give space. So we could put it on center, right? Right now you cannot see. So let's put height on here. Let's put the height. So now we put the children's center. So vertically center, right? So we could also put end. So we could put the children on the end based on this container. We could put start. By default, it is start, right? And finally, we could do stretch as well, to stretch children. So now this is a text, but if we add a button, let's say raise button, right? So right now this button is nothing, it doesn't do anything. Let's give it a child, and child is text, click me, right? So this child takes, it is stretched vertically, right? So now let's try a new widgets that we haven't seen before. And now let's comment this one out, right? And let's make this and comment this, and let's make this and comment as well. So now we have a child. Let's say you have an e-commerce app. You're making an e-commerce, so we could make, let's say, total, right? So you could have a total, and total can wuxuu noqon karaa, if you could escape $1 and then put maybe $90, right? So you have a $90 here. And now you also want the user to use to view their order. So view order, right? So, and then if you want to make equal space, you could use expand. So if you want this to take all the available space, you can wrap a expanded widget, right? So expanded widget wuxuu qaadanaya all the available space. So haddaan dhahno expanded widget will take all of the space, and then wixii ku xigana, it'll take all the other space, right? Also, we could write another button. So let's use a container right now, because we haven't used container to style. So let's use a container. This container takes a child. The child could be a, let's say, a raise button, right? Let's use a text button, right? So this text button takes on price. So right now it doesn't take anything. And then let's give it a child, and let's give it a text. And this text would be checkout, for example, right? Now we have a button, but we want to give it a circular button. So we need to style it. Remember, we could use decorator. So decorator is a way you could style your container or a color. I mean, if you want to style your buttons and stuff like that. So it takes a box decorator, right? And box decorator takes a color. Remember, you could do a quick lookup just by doing control space. Now you have a container, which your box decorator takes a color, border radius, background blend, border, box shadow, gradient, image, shape, all of that. So you just have to play around. But for now, I'm gonna use colors.red, for example, right? So now we have a color red, right? Put comma to format your code. Kabacdi waxaa dhahayna border radius. So border radius takes a border, is a type of a border radius. So if you look, let me go back here. Border radius is a border radius geometry type, right? So it takes a border radius, right? And then if we use dot, then we have some options. So we have a lerp. So this is saying that if you want to have like some borders from specific angles. So for example, you could give it a border radius of A and border radius of B and some doubles. I haven't used that one, but we could use a circular, for example. So if you use circular, then your button would be a circle button, right? Put a comma, and you could accomplish the same thing. If you say all takes a radius, it's a type of radius, so you could give radius dot. Now you could give it a circle, right, of 32. And now our button doesn't look too good, so let's style it even more, right? So let's give this container a height. So let's give it a height of 40 maybe, right? And now let's give it a padding. So edge insects, remember, padding takes edge insects dot all. Let's give it a 5 to give the child a border radius space in all corners. Also, let's style our text. So if you style, So text takes has a style, and style takes a text style, right? Remember, text style comes with color, background, font size, font weight, font style. So let's give it a color is dot white. Let's make it white. Now we have a white, right? And we could also make this container to give up, we could give a padding. So what we could do is we could use, remember, container comes a margin. So we could give it an edge insets that all 10, right? So now we have we give it a margin in all, we give it a space in all outside. So now we created a row widget which takes let's say a total amount, and the user could view their order and they could check out. So all of these buttons are side by side. Also, you could accomplish the same thing. For example, let's remove this. Let's remove text expanded. Now everything is the same. Now if you want to accomplish the same thing, there is different ways you could do. You could give it a spacer. So a spacer is another widget aad isticmaali kartid. Hudud wuxuu sameynayaa, it takes all the children, all of this view order and check out button. It will take it all of them and put it to the right side. Sidoo kale waxaan sameyn karnaa instead of spacer, we can also use flexible. So let's save this. Now we go back to how it was before. Marka waxaan sameynanaa, we wrap with a widget. Widgetkan waxaa dhahaynaa it is a flexible widget. Kabacdi format ayaan dhahaynaa koodka. Format markaa dhahno, still nothing works. If you do a quick lookup, flexible takes a fit, right? And it takes a flex. So by default, by default flex is 1, right? So waxaa isticmaalinaa fit, and then waxaa dhahaynaa flex fit, right? Dot tight. Marka tight, if you look at tight, waxa weeye it forces to fill the available space. Marka waxay sameynaysaa all of these children, labadan this text widget iyo this container, xoog ayuu maaragtay to the right side ayuu wada keenayaa. So it forces these two children to the right side. So if we save, look, marka guys, and 3 different ways ayaan tusay. Marka waxaad isticmaali kartaa flexible, waxaad isticmaali kartaa expanded widget, waxaad isticmaali kartaa spacer. Muhiimadda waxa weeye, if you want to use expanded widget, it has to be either in a row or a column, because row takes all the available height, right? And that column also takes same available height. So sometimes if you want to to push some elements to the right side, and it's up to you. Adig ku xiranta saad u isticmaalaysid, laakiin all of this is available on the internet. Marka haddii aad if you go onto the hadda maanta waxaan baranaynay row widget ayaan baranaynay. Marka haddii aad rabto inaad more practice inaad samaysid, use the documentation is really important. Marka and if you want to learn more stuff, marka haddii aad wax raadinaysid, you could do some research. It has code labs as well that you could do for beginners, right? Marka everything Flutter is a really powerful framework. Marka maanta waxaan rabaa inaan nila sheekeeyo row widget. Marka we can even do some cleanup here as well. Marka waxaan dhihi karnaa, we can just to show you, we can even today's casharka wuxuu ahaa row widget. Marka waxaan dhahaynaa casharka row, for example, right? So markaad San did I? Oh, okay. We don't need to create a directory. We need to create a file, right? So waxaan dhahnaa row, right? Now we'll create a stateless widget, and then waxaan dhahnaa row, right? And now we need to import material dot, right? And now we need to post our code, right? Make sure at the end is semicolon. Now we go back to here, and now if we say row, everything should be the same. If we run the code, it is same, right? Marka we can even do maaragtay container can, we can combine labada cashar aan soo baranay. Instead of child, waxaan siinaynaa another column ayaan siin karnaa, right? We could give, and then children, and then waxaan dhahnaa column, casharka column, where is that? Right? Takes first one's casharka column, and then we could even give casharka row, right? And now if we hot restart, right? Now see, we have a container which is a color, right? And then we have another container, another column, and this column has first child is the one we did last time, which is child 1, child 2, and click me, right? And then we have another child which is a row of widgets, right? So it is really powerful. You could combine all of this and you could create a beautiful user interface, right? Today waxaan sameynay, we finished column widget and row widget. For the next video we're gonna start doing we're gonna create a simple calculator app. Inshallah casharka kale aan kasii soconaynaa. Also guys, I need a feedback from you guys because and I like to teach people, like in Marti, and I'm new to teaching people, so I want to know how are my teaching. Fikradaada ayaan rabaa inaan ogaado. If I need to do any improvement, iyo waxaas marka ila share garay commentiga saan maaragtay wax u barayo, so I could improve if there is something wrong with my teaching style. Saan maaragtay improve u sameyn lahaa marka ila soo socodsiiya. Also maaragtay I want to know your feedback haddii aad Somali miyaad kusii wadaa mise English mise mix and match. Marka labadadana maaragtay I need your feedback if I should continue teaching in English or just doing Somali no English, ama maaragtay both. Marka I'll try to do both inshallah, but fikradaada ila sheekeeya. Marka that's it for this video. I hope this video is not too long for you guys.